Alrighty, everybody, let's talk about the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands notes for April 21st. This is going to launch the Coiled Captors, the new event, DLC, PLC, whatever you want to call it, for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Essentially going to be part of the Season Pass. Vesper, and you get to go to the Dreamville Overlook. In addition to support some changes made, we want to give specific attention to based on the feedback of the community. This is going to be some juicy stuff, guys. Lucky dice are now tracked per profile instead of per character. Players will need to load and save their Fate Maker to apply the progression to their profile if created before this update. So essentially, your loot luck is across the board now. You don't have to worry about getting the lucky dice on every single character. This is honestly pretty solid change, but at the same time, it really does impact, I would say, a lot of people that want to do like speed running or just kind of enjoyed adding that part of their process of going through the game. Fate Makers can now rename their pets and characters at quick change stations. Absolutely awesome. Chaos tiers can now go up to level 35. I have really no idea if this is a good choice right now or not. Just purely off the fact that I've heard from a lot of people that haven't even made it to Chaos level 20 yet. So having to grind 15 more levels once you even hit that now is kind of crazy, but at least we now get primordial gear will appear starting at Chaos tier 35. Enemy waves in the Chaos Chamber's Endless Dungeon have been allowed to start sooner to give Fate Makers more targets at once. This is a really good change. We really like enemy density being higher. Moon Orb currency has been adjusted. Fate Makers were very quickly able to reroll enchantments at the point that the cost would be more than the maximum Moon Orbs you can hold. The grind for the Moon Orbs was also slower than intended, as the best way to get them to farm the boss is the Chaos Chambers. The Moon Orbs Fate Maker has now been increased from 4,000 to 16,000. Honestly, I just really wish they just uncapped it. I think that's a kind of a silly number because essentially, from what we are going to read ahead here, the cost of reroll will stop increasing after 4,000. You only get 4 rerolls at max, so the piece of gear is essentially still bricked in a way. It's just bricked for a longer amount of time. You're going to have to do a lot of more Chaos Chambers to do it, but it does look like we are going to be getting a lot more Moon Orbs in the process, so at least that's a really good change. Final chest, the Chaos Chamber Endless Dungeon will now drop 14 Moon Orb stacks. The reroll cost now accounts for the rarity of the gear, with legendaries being the more expensive reroll. So really good changes there. We like the Moon Orb stuff. Fixed variation report of rare crashes, including these. You guys can just kind of go through like these crash details here on your own. I'll leave it up there, but at least know that they are working on some of the UI and issues in that regard, just to make it a more fluid game all around. Address the following reported concerns. Some players could not connect to the game without linking accounts. Occasionally, the intro would not play the Fate Maker and we're left in the table alone. Again, a lot of just like reported concerns going in here in regard to like the UI and everything. Again, I'll just kind of like slowly scroll down, and do know that I will have this link down below for you as well. So if you are wanting to check it out yourself real quick, just absolutely feel free to do that. Let's keep on looking in here for some of the issues regarding characters. Some players would not see Berserk Clawbringer action skill during co-op. The Spore Warden's Blizzard action skill and Graveborn's Dire Sacrifice action skill would be able to deal crits. Skill would be unable to deal crits. So I guess they can do crits now. The UI occasionally not update Graveborn with spec into Faithful Thralls. That was actually kind of an issue, so I'm glad they're fixing that. Graveborn Stimulant would incorrectly bless some Fate Makers with invulnerability at 1 health. Spell shots, double not pass ability would not deal the correct amount of bonus damage. Sabomancer's Ghostblade would not properly updating damage when a melee weapon was unequipped. Again, just a lot of just good changes in here, it looks like so far. So in regards to UI fixes and stuff like that, melee bonus objective in the Chaos Chamber Endless Dungeon would occasionally persist into the next room. Very interesting. I actually saw that. Puddles of water were becoming too spicy when being shot by an elemental weapon with the relevant modifier. We really like this change. Only on Sacred Ground were that going on. Again, just an obscene amount of UI changes. So we really just like to see that all around. The weekly rotation mini events cosmetic collector increase the chance of cosmetics to drop from bosses, especially the head and face gear armor colors. Don't worry, these drops have no impact on the drop rate of the gear. Great to actually have that like kind of focused out on. This week's feature run features Lance and the Frost King. which is awesome. We like to have that. Patch some holes in the rocks in Mount Claw. Allow Dragonlord's Spectral Wyvern to regen Dragonlord's shield in Chaos Chamber's Endless Dungeon. Ice Spike spells have been adjusted to deal damage to individual targets once per cast, but now shouldn't stop other Ice Spikes from doing damage. That's really great to see. Fixed an issue where Zombie Boss minions sometimes weren't showing up on the fight. Class adjustments, and then this is like the end of the page. Berserker, increase Dreadwind's damage as it scales a higher level 28%. That's awesome. And address UI concerns in Dreadwind melee frequency appearing incorrectly. And then huge changes here to Clawbringer. Increase the damage radius of Cleansing Flames melee damage. Remove the cooldown on Storm Spite skill. Oh my god, that's amazing. Increase Storm Smite's damage as it scales level 50% higher. Improved targeting on the Storm Smite, and remove Storm Smite's delay between the puddle and lightning bolt spawning. So pretty much just the capstone got fixed, and Cleansing Flames has a bigger radius. So we'll see how that helps the class, but I mean, if I had to be real, just kind of looking at that, I don't know if that's going to really save the character at this point, especially with Awe being so dramatically changed. But we'll try some Clawbringer things. We'll try some Berserker things to see how it goes. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, know that the Hotfix notes will be down below, and you can check them out yourself. But regardless, hope you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.